You're a fool to be so brazen. You'll never avenge your father at this rate.
You know what? I was about to... It was on the tip of my tongue again. Don't make me say something, Cronia. I've never cursed before.
I'll have to kill you too, with my own hands.
Bring it. Bring it! Yeah! I hit you! Oh, you're dead! Here we go.
Monica, you'll pay for what you've done.
Oh!
I told you, I am not Monica. I am Cronia. Do not call me by that fake name.
Sure, by all
I
means.
don't care what you're called.
Yep.
I don't care if it takes my last breath.
Yep.
I'll kill you.
All right, Leone.
Please, my powers are beyond your comprehension.
You think?
You're just a filthy worm.
Sure, what's up, Leone?
Don't mess this up.
Right. Dodge. You see that? You can't touch her. Leone, Tempest Lance. There you go.
Yes, try.
Nope. She is superior to you by leaps and bounds. Okay.
Oh, how cute. You're trying so hard. But now it's time to die.
Nope.
Shall we dance?
Oh, Claude! Take her out, man. Take her out. You got this, boy. Claude, my man. All right, Edelgard. Let's see what you're gonna do. You're gonna go first. Petra, it's all you. Show her what a real assassin's like. You know, sometimes it's hard for me to believe that I'm actually here. I recorded this after I did the support with Dorothea and I explained my position on Rhea. I actually haven't edited the episode where Monica did what she did. And funny enough, I'm actually recording this like, I'm pretty sure I have. Yeah. So Monica takes out our father on December 26th. I am recording this on December 26th, right after Christmas. It hits different. I almost wanted to upload that episode on that date, but I need time to make sure everything's going to be right when I post it. So let's not stall any longer. As soon as I click this, we're getting right into the action. We got a scene, and what I am looking for Edelgard is, like, you can mention everything you want about Rhea, Dimitri, you know, alright. They have nothing to do with me siding or not siding with Edelgard. It's all on how I feel she's gonna do things. Well, either way, let's get started.
Professor, I know where the enemy is. Where Solon is.
Did I ask for Solon, Edelgard?
They're in a place called the Sealed Forest, close to the monastery.
I asked you before. Why didn't you mention Monica's name? Now it's just a weird thing. Mention who did it.
The Archbishop is gathering the knights to begin a search.
To be quite frank, I don't really care about Solon.
She's doing so in secret, behind our backs.
Okay. Alright. Why in secret?
She must be afraid that a thirst for revenge will compel you to seek them out. Now that you know, will you give us the order?
No, I will not allow it.
That was a very weird interaction there.
This discovery comes just when the knights are at their busiest. It is all too likely that our foes revealed themselves to lure you out there.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna have to go back to the other two, but alright.
They are the ones who took Geralt from you. I know how you must despise them, but I must ask you to rein in your personal feelings for now.
Wait. No, that is weird. Because the whole point, like I was making the point earlier, Edelgard was just with them. And then she comes and says she knows where they are. But as I believe, like I started with the Golden Deer route, right? They revealed themselves because they got a trap. So, okay, I'm just gonna continue.
Please, Professor, do not act carelessly. I ask that you leave this to us. Losing you so soon after losing Gerald would be unbearable.
Lady Rhea, our professor is not acting out of revenge.
No, really.
Sending us out there is the most strategic move we can make. You can't deny it. Most of the knights are still far away. Not only does our professor wield a hero's relic, but there is no one here who is more powerful.
Besides possibly Rhea, but...
Seth and the few remaining knights can't leave the monastery unattended. We have fought under our teacher's command countless times. We are the most effective army here, and we are already prepared for battle.
Just realizing, I think this is their first conversation.
We have no idea what the enemy is plotting. We must act now.
You know, besides, you know, a trap.
Professor, do you agree with this strategy? Understood. I will give you the order. Destroy the enemy that is hiding in the sealed forest.
They were completely right.
You have the protection of the goddess on your side. Whatever happens, you shall overcome.
Though that is technically true as well. Yeah?
Let's go, my teacher. Whatever happens, do not lose your conviction out there.
I don't need you to tell me that. I'm pretty sure we're good. Yeah, I wanted to make Lysithea a Grimoire before this, but it doesn't matter. Let's just go. And I shouldn't need much. Yeah, this will be fine. A sealed forest snare.
We are now within the sealed forest. We must not let our guard down.
Mm-hmm.
Professor, we'll avenge Gerald for you, no matter what.
I'm so glad you're here, Bernie.
Remember, it is a bad idea to get distracted by revenge.
You are absolutely right, Ferdinand.
I have readiness. Our enemies will be taking... we will take our enemies down.
Yeah, I'm almost tempted to just let you go ham, Petra.
Well, it's not like we have any other missions this month. I suppose this is as good a way as any to spend our energy.
A little detached, Linhart, but I get it. I get it.
Linhart spending energy? We'd better finish this fast before the pigs start flying everywhere.
Lower your voice. The enemy could be close.
Very true, Dorothea. I'm also glad you're here as well.
It is time to repay the kindness of the professor who saved my life.
And then there's the reminder of what I'm doing.
Professor, I know I'm the one who insisted we come here. But don't doubt for a moment that the enemy is waiting for you.
Mm-hmm.
Lady Edelgard, what are you saying?
What other objective could they possibly have?
Why did you react like that, Hubert?
We have no clue what kind of trap is waiting for us. Please be careful, my teacher. We can't afford to lose you.
The enemy is strong, but you will prevail. You must.
I must. While we're on the subject of getting strong, how Petra is currently is legit how I thought Cronia would be. Normally, some assassins can be pretty terrible. Well, I mean, I don't need to show you. You've seen it during this entire route. Petra's a monster, and I was thinking that Monica would be too. Oh, actually, 1 second. Alright, that's much better. If it weren't for the monsters, I probably would just have Petra do everything. Okay. Remind me who... Oh, I can leave Edelgard out of this? Well, that's counterproductive. Get both of them. Then the rest of the team. And once again, Lysithea. Alright. I don't think there are many supports that I have left to get. Hanneman and Linhardt would be a nice one. And of the easy ones, I think that is the easiest one. So what I'll do then is I'll give Shamir to Petra, as I want to level her up. Except she's not here. Yeah, that's right. I'll take Happy, Ferdinand. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Combat arts. Yeah, I never had it. Okay, so, I was told to try out Swift Strikes because it's one of the most powerful, see, the problem is if I do that, I guess I'll remove Sunder for now. And what's it do? There we go. Yeah, an attack that strikes twice. Yeah, that's pretty nice, especially on Ferdinand's current class. But alright. I honestly just do not want to deal with these people. Petra, can you take them on? Protection 20. Nah, that's dangerous. I mean, I could do the Linhardt combo, but I think we should play this carefully. Dorothea, you get out in front. Might use you as a tank. Petra, you're gonna go this way with Ferdinand. Caspar, you too. Edelgard, you go for Cronia. This interaction is something I need to see. Alright. Let me check our weapons. Alright. Let's do this.
Look there! Demonic beasts! I suppose they aren't holding back.
Yeah.
Hello, you're here! Welcome to the Forest of Death! My name is Cronia. This weakling girl was just a borrowed look for me.
I'm just about sick of...
This is what I really look like.
Come here, Cronia.
Now, you vermin. I'll take down every last one of you.
You're gonna help me decide something here. Alright. Oh yeah, we got a chest. Petra's an assassin now, so she should be able to take care of that. Even more of a reason why I need you there. Alright. Let's mark up. Alright. 39, Ferdinand, how you looking? 21. What's its speed? Sheesh, they leveled up quickly, didn't they? That's attack speed 16.
I am Ferdinand von Eyre.
Alright, you got that. Okay. Wait. Oh yeah, you definitely got that.
I will get the victory.
Petra, you go with them.
Stay focused.
I'll be with you too. I also want someone on this side as well.
I will prevail.
Edelgard. Hand axe. Okay, Dorothea, give her a pick me up.
Cue.
A great help.
Okay.
Leave it to me.
Lysithea, I'd rather you go back them up.
Oh, no.
Bernie, you too.
Put me in there.
Caspar, you too.
As you wish.
Hubert with the two of us.
battle.
And Linhart, you go where you're needed. Oh, right. Let me make sure my settings are... There we go. Off. On. Okay.
If this takes too long, I might be forced to escape.
This was a trap. And I fell for it.
Oh, or do you simply intend to let me go? How accommodating of you. As for me, I intend to kill you all.
You know, I honestly thought she was gonna get a crit there. Yeah. Nice, Ferdinand. Okay. Save your battalion, Edelgard. Bernie. Use yours.
Give it all we've got. They pushed me too far.
How many? And let's just finish him off. I don't have time. Crit Caspar? Even if he did, it wouldn't have been enough. That's alright. I'm thinking. Alright. Well, that's not good. Okay. Well, Lysithia. That's one. Now let's get two.
That helps.
I'm not sure if she can take on the second health bar by herself. I gotta remember who I'm talking to. I gotta remember who I'm talking to. Alright. That's my left hand. That's my dadgum left hand. Alright. Now, on this side, Hubert, that's all you.
Marvel at our strategy.
Alright, honestly, Petra... Oh, wait, I can take care of it? Yeah, come here.
Let the lesson begin.
Alright, yeah. Take this 1% crit.
That is that.
Now I'm even tougher.
Nice, Happy.
Guess I learned a thing or two.
Alright. Ooh, magic staff. It'd be great if we get up to Lysithia, but it's not necessary. Swift strikes, Ferdinand. Let's see. Ooh, with your crest? I thought we could get a crit, but... Alright, not bad, man. Ooh.
Always getting stronger.
I'll take the speed. Okay. Good, good, good all around. Now, as for his remaining health bar. Linhart, go ahead and help her out a bit. Actually, I'm gonna believe in Petra. Yeah. Yeah. That's my left and my right. Right there. Okay. Linhardt, give her a heal. Actually? She's one short, darn it. Okay. Well, for the moment, Edelgard, you just get in a better position. And who are your options, Linhardt? Get me.
Well done.
Appreciate it, bro. Alright. I hate that she's one short. And they both cover the same range. Okay. Gambit.
Back to the fray.
Alright. Shouldn't matter. Yeah. Even if they both did hit, she'll still avoid them. Alright. Ferdinand, let her do her thing. I'll let you handle the others. Hubert, you wait. Dorothea, gonna want you to take on this mage right here, because, yeah, you have the highest resilience right now. Get a Thunder, and heal Edelgard.
Well done.
Two. Nice. That's what we like to see. Just wait. Hubert, you can get here. Alright.
I am aware of your weakness.
Alright. Lethality too?
Flame spirit, protect me.
Okay. Now she's ready.
I will win.
Here we go.
I will not be stopping.
Show you what a real assassin can do. Alright. Nice, Dorothea. Honestly, Petra, just draw while you're...
Caution is needed.
Yeah. They got a 1% hit. 1% chance to hit Petra. Nice. Wait, I'm a thief too. I can get the chest. I'll get it, Petra. You just focus on taking everybody out. Ferdinand, you get the scraps. Caspar.
No one makes it past me.
Nice. Okay. Looks like, is the archer the only one who's covering that space? He is. Alright, Edelgard, get your sword equipped. Wait. 42. Alright. Dorothea, give her a buff.
You'll be repaid.
Alright. Edelgard. Oh no. No, Lysithea. Back up, Edelgard. And Bernie, you go with her. Meanwhile, you guys are just gonna go down.
My heart is full of victory.
I don't care. Nice.
War feeds my body and mind.
More dexterity. Thought you were dodged that, Edelgard.
You will be slapped down.
Look at that.
Flame spirit, protect me.
Look at that. She's almost at S. Alright, yeah, Ferdinand, I'll leave these two to you. Okay. Let's take care of these three first. Alright. Edelgard, can you take down one? That's a maybe. No crit.
Witness my power.
Okay. Ideally, Caspar, Bernie, I would like each of you to take out one. Okay. Dorothea, you give Caspar, oh, I was gonna say a little help.
Take me seriously.
Oh, I was thinking, I was like, she might still crit. See,
Winning's always nice.
so look at that.
You're
5%.
in good form.
I got a 1% crit. Edelgard 20%. Nothing. Alright. Then, yeah, Caspar, I'll leave this to you. One. Okay. It still should be enough, as long as he hits the other two. There you go.
What a jump.
Oh, you want that? You can have it. Yeah, toss that steel. That's better. Alright. Speed ring. I can give that to somebody. Alright, Ferdinand, it's your turn, man. 41? Eesh. 21. You should be fine. Okay. Oh, it's gonna be a big one. But he's got it.
Thank you.
Alright. Lysithea, throw down some heals.
Thanks for helping.
Alright. Hubert. Can you heal Petra just a little bit? No. Save it. Okay, nice. Oh, my boy about to get a crit. Oh, no. Never mind. Alright. Not that you need me, team, but I'm coming to back you up. 23, 22, 25, 37. Hubert, actually, yeah, I think Hubert needs to take out the armor, even though he has Dark Spikes T. Okay.
Hardly worth my time.
And Ferdinand. Wow.
I will not hold back.
Wow.
Only a fool challenges me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Steel is impressive.
I don't know what happened with me in Swift Strikes. I think I must have just been tired grinding one day and didn't look at what it did. Huh.
Yeah. Well done.
It's like Leonie's Point Blank. 29. My Grimory has almost...
I don't have time for failure.
It's okay, Lysithea. Returned. Alright. I want the way clear before we take on Cronia. Okay. We need to get up there so we can handle our opponent as well.
Sweet of you.
Okay. Yeah, you know. You don't want a piece of Petra. Alright. Ferdinand, I'm gonna need you to draw this one to you. Iron sword up. Good. And Edelgard, you draw this one to you. Alright. Dorothea, you be ready to assist. Alright, we're pretty evenly distributed. On this side, at least. Hubert, you get to where you can help. Alright.
That was nothing.
Nice. Oh yeah, watch Cronia's range too. Okay. Alright, we're pretty safe here. But somebody else has to use... Bernie, do you have another gambit? You do not. And Caspar doesn't have a gambit. Oh, great. That means the only option to be Dorothea. But we gotta do what we gotta do.
We have this covered. I have an idea.
You know, Bernie can probably take on a 1 health bar. I just thought of that. Okay. We can do this. Alright, Edelgard. Take out this opponent.
Your defeat was inevitable.
Alright. Bernie. Combat arts. Hunter. Okay, that's risky. Try this. Nope. That didn't work. Alright. Backup plan then. Except she can't exactly reach. Dorothea will be fine, but will everybody else? Okay, Caspar, do you have... See, I could get Lysithea over there. Do I bank for the crit? Nope. No, that's not good. He'd do 28 to Dorothea. Bernie has more HP though. And everybody else, no one should die by this. What's his current? Yeah, just don't finish him off. Alright, that didn't go as planned, but this one will be a different story.
It's time.
Alright. Ferdinand. Oh man. Alright. Yeah, we're just gonna break all his barriers.
Our power is yours. Make them tremble.
If you're wondering why I didn't use Edelgard's Gambit, because I don't think I explained that, I'm saving it. She needs it. Umbral Steel, of course. What else would I get? Okay, Hubert. Can you finish off the first? Nope. You gotta level up though.
Any experience is worth having.
Alright, Linhart, you do it then. Won't do much for you, but Petra can handle the rest. Since he can't attack.
I will remove
Yep.
you will be slapped down.
Amazing.
That's putting it mildly. Okay. You know, I don't trust this. Get Bernie out of harm's way. Oh, and Caspar, he just dodged. I was worried about him the most. Okay, Bernie, can we try that again? Combat Arts, Hunter. Wow. Okay. Then just do it from here. It's okay. I gotta get her strength up. Alright, Caspar, this is all you. Iron Gauntlets. Nice. Lysithea? What are we talking about? Yeah.
Of course I won.
Better. Okay. Now then. Linhart, if you would be so kind. Alright. That's one.
I went overboard.
Dorothea, you're gonna need some heals.
Apologies.
Get a little bit closer, Lysithea.
How sweet.
Okay. Petra, you get ready. You're going next. Though would Ferdinand be a good... Nah. We're not doing that strat. That was for Leone. This time, though. I want 3 people with me. Alright. This is all I need. Go ahead and heal Edelgard, Lysithea.
A great help.
That's my cue.
Then Dorothea, you dance. Okay, we're ready. Caspar, give us a gambit.
Well done.
Alright, Edelgard. Let's see what you're gonna do. You're gonna go first. And you're gonna give her a gambit. Let's see how this goes.
Huh? What are you... Are you here to kill me?
Yeah.
I am. Prepare yourself for death while you still can. We won't hold back.
That's it. What? Anal guard! Oh, great. Oh, hold up, hold up, hold up. She missed?
Shall we dance?
Oh, Claude! Take her out, man. Take her out. You got this, boy. Claude, my man. Great, 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 great. That wasn't supposed to happen. Okay, my turn then. And I guess I'll leave it up to you, Petra. You'll finish this. She missed. Gambit.
You're a fool to be so brazen. You'll never avenge your father at this rate.
Says you.
I'll have to kill you too, with my own hands.
Bring it.
We have
Now's our chance.
Got you now, Cronia. Alright. Petra. Saw you.
That's it. No! That's it. No! That's it.
How did I mess up that badly?
You done? This is it. This is it. We found our MVP. No need to have this text anymore.
Oh no! No! Everyone, I apologize. I tried. I did. I tried. I tried. People gonna be so mad at me, bro. Oh my gosh.
Bro, I done saw this from the jump, bro. I said, man, look at this. You think her Shikai was badass? Well, I don't think her Bankai was gonna be nice too.
Show her what a real assassin's like. Combat arts? Yeah? You don't have Vantage, right? Nah, I think we're good. Do it. Well, actually, hang on. I just want to see. Can I can't zoom out? Alright.
Oh, how cute! You're trying so hard! But now it's time to die!
Show her what's up. Yep. 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 Nice, Petra.
Show me more! But how? How could I really lose? To a lowly creature like you?
Cause you a trash assassin.
Well,
Solon, don't just stand there and stare. I need your help.
yes, you most certainly do.
Huh?
Have no fear, Cronia. Your sacrifice will help to rid this world of the filthy vermin that have long infested it.
You know, I'm actually wondering, did Rhea not know about this? Or is this one of those things where she didn't think they could pull it off?
The time is finally come to unleash the forbidden spell of Zaharas upon our enemies!
Please, help me.
Goodbye, Cronia. Though, you know, one of the things I did have in mind was did they possess the body of Monica? And that was Monica who just appeared at the end.
Be gone with you, Felstar.
Because that looked like a crest stone that he took out. So it would make sense if they implanted themselves, like Data, you know? I've seen...
That could only have been magic. What happened to our professor?
I've seen, where's Petra?
Prepare yourself. We will avenge our leader here and now.
How trite.
You know,
But if you wish for pain, I shall oblige.
that was my all-star lineup right there. Like Cynthia, Hilda, Claude, and Leonie.
Petra should be here, alright? I'm just saying. But anyways, I remember seeing, shows like when people back up themselves as Data and insert them. If the whole idea of them being like a future version of us is true, just, kind of magified, then it would make sense if that's how they took over bodies.
They were swallowed by the mystical darkness of the forbidden spell.
And how they survived for so long.
An eternity wandering in a void of nothingness, never to return to this world. To think, we almost had the sword of the Creator.
Oh, I guess you're talking to Edelgard now as if she's betrayed you?
You're lying. Our professor is alive. I know it.
That's right. Our professor is no ordinary human.
I like how each one of these has a different angle.
It is hard to fathom that our professor would die in a place like this.
It is possible that death has yet to find your friend, but there are worse things than death. Drifting through the darkness with no chance of escape, overwhelmed with hopelessness. It must be torturous.
You're already boasting a victory, but know this. If you did use such devious tricks to stop our professor, I swear that you will regret it.
Oh, really?
I cannot help but agree with her this once. Even if our professor is trapped in darkness, that is not the end of their story.
I will not forgive such arrogance. If you prefer it so, you shall also be added to the ranks of the dead.
You fool! What were you thinking, charging right into an enemy's trap? Are you just a boulder that rolls down whatever hill it's on? No, even a boulder has more sense.
You could have warned me, Sothis. Nah. I don't think I would have listened.
Apologizing won't make things right. This darkness is terrifying. As you and I are one, I too am trapped within this void. But please consider this. This realm of darkness we are in is separate from the world from which you came. I mean that it would take a god to leave this place.
Yeah.
In time, our hearts and minds will cease to be. Are you prepared to die?
I am not.
I thought as much. I also do not wish to die. And yet, there is no other choice.
What choice?
Do you recall your father's diary? He said you were a child who never cried nor laughed. I think I am the one to blame. I must have been asleep, but even then, I feel I was a part of you. I do not know how Rhea managed it, but she allowed me to exist inside of you.
And see, that's what I'm saying. It's like, if it weren't for that not paralog, it was a whole nother route. The Ashen Wolves route, where it was confirmed that Citri was the one who asked for us to have her own heart. Then, yeah, I would put a lot more blame on Rhea. But in this case, it was Citri. Did she know what she had? Maybe not, but we would have died regardless. We would not even be here,
The truth is, I have always been with you. It is within you that I found my power yet again. The power of a goddess. The power of the progenitor god. My name is Sothis. By now, you must be well aware of what that means. I am the one who watches over Fodlan and the creatures dwelling there.
Did she say that before?
I am Sothis, she who died and then returned.
Somehow I knew it to be true.
There is but one thing left to do to save us from this darkness of eternity. I must now use the power of a god. However, I lack a body of my own, and so I must relinquish all the power that I have to you.
And this is the part where I question. It doesn't matter on as far as intent goes, but I'm more so wondering, Sothis was always the one I was worried about, not Rhea when it came to us being possessed, because I always thought it was up to Sothis. You know, maybe it had to be like a mutual agreement between the two of us, but still, I would wonder if Sothis grew more and more powerful, then would she eventually just take over our body herself without any need for any outside interference? And that's why I say Cronia really helped stuff out. If Sothis had returned, like, imagine the real Sothis, you know? Us using her power is one thing, but if she was able to come back, I don't think anybody could have stopped her. At least none of the Agarthans currently. Cronia made a big impact because of this moment. Not character-wise, but just, you know, her actions in general. This is the impact. Sothis dies. And, she relinquishes her power. And the game would have been completely different if this had not happened. But perhaps did somebody make a video on what they think would happen if Sothis lived after this moment? Because that'd be interesting.
The time has come for you and I to join as one. And when that comes to pass, then I shall disappear.
I wonder if Sothis cares for us too much. This is our mistake, right? We put us in this situation, and Sothis is saying, all right, I'll take the blame for it. You know, I'll sacrifice myself to save you. I don't think Sothis would be the type of person who would take over us no matter what happened. I won't allow it.
When I say disappear, I do not mean that all I am will be no more. My soul will join with yours, and you and I will never be apart.
Yeah, that sounds better than it actually was, though.
But I will no longer have the chance to speak with you. I shall miss it. So long have I been on this path with you. Through you, I got to see and hear this world. I even got to chastise you from time to time. I may not have acted like a goddess, but it was certainly fun. For all that you have done, thank you. I'm glad that it was you to whom my fate was bound.
This is probably the last time I'm gonna speak to Sothis. Truly, after all the routes, I was thinking some other stuff was gonna happen, but thank you, Sothis, for everything.
Now, we must pray. For if we share this wish, our spirits too will join as one.
And that confirms it, so it would have to be both of our decision.
Your wish is to return to the forest, stop the enemy, and rescue the little ones. No need for words. I know your heart as though it were my own. Your will and mine are now as one. Both sides of time are revealed to you, and you alone. You know I am the beginning. What shall you do?
This has to be one of the best looking scenes in the game. Well, this part in particular, I feel. All right. Let's get out of here.
darkness itself.
You're next, Solon. And yeah, here we go. This is another part I was looking for. What is Edelgard gonna say now?
Professor, it is you, right? I knew that you would always come back to us. I'd like to ask about your appearance, but for now, let's dispose of our enemies.
Fair.
What did you see in the darkness of Zaharas? This should be impossible. The only being that can withstand that darkness is... Unless I dispose of you myself, I may never have the chance to send you back there.
I could end this. No, I just used all my warps. I can't. But that's fine. Alright. I was tempted to just warp Petra up there and take him out, but we used them all for the sake of convenience. Alright. Been a minute since I've tried this out.
Should I have held back?
Good. Got my sword back. And how strong? 15? Okay, good. Because it's been weaker than my silver plus sword for a minute now. Alright. There's my right hand. Where's Lysithea? Just because I want the visual image. Alright, Dorothea, level 33.
Not quite what I was after.
It's okay. My left. Yeah. Right here. Right here. Wait, can we get rid of the map, please? Oh, I guess I can't. That's awesome. Yeah, like right there. Okay. Let's do this. I wish if burning was just a bit stronger, though. That's the only thing I think I need to work on. Alright, that's fine. You guys can get out of the trees. Take your time. Okay. And I think I used all my gambits too. Alright. Wait, Edelgard has one more? Did I miscount? Or did they give us... Oh, some people have more. Okay, Caspar. Throw your gambit out. Oh, perfect.
Lovely timing.
Alright. Ferdinand, you are out, right? No, you're not. Okay. There's just these two on this side. Bet.
I'll show you a plan.
Ooh.
People like me are quick studies.
Aegis. Alright. Do I? Yeah, I don't have another. And Edelgard can't reach this opponent. Oh, yes she can. Please hit. Okay.
Witness my power.
Nice. Okay.
I must get stronger.
Now. Ooh. Okay. Petra, what about you? Sure, why not?
I will win.
It doesn't matter what you use. You got it. All right. Okay, perhaps I should have let her... Well, if I can't finish him off, somebody else will.
No hesitation.
All right. Was hoping so.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, admittedly, I'm surprised too. Okay. Lysithea, you get back, let them come to you. Yeah. Bernie, you get here. Dorothea, I could use a heal.
Thank you.
Nice. Okay. Let's finish this. I could have had Petra take on all those opponents again. Yeah, like them in particular. In fact, Petra. Oh, that's risky. Oh, you're so close. Alright, I'll help you out. And get a nice level up for myself.
Another step forward.
Okay. Okay, that's good. I like to see that. You don't have advantage. She could have handled it.
One more success.
Especially with that.
I'm closing in on expertise.
By the way, I'm really hoping that Petra can even KO that guy. I'll come back to it. Well, that's annoying. Okay. Bernie. Hunter.
Can I go now?
Okay. Lysithea still has an assault troop. So if that's Edelgard can't reach though. And Ferdinand uses wave attack. Okay. Dorothea, can you reach Lysithea? From there? Yeah.
Want some help? Watch this.
I was about to say, she's gonna miss. Well, that's not good. Yeah, that's really not good. Okay. I was counting on that, Lysithea. Wait on that. Now what? Well, we take out these two.
Must be awful losing to me.
Handyman got to 21. Okay.
I could go another few rounds.
Hubert. Do not attempt that. Dang. Alright. Then... where is it? Oh, it won't finish him off? Okay, that's fine. Oh, it will now.
This is what I do.
Okay, yeah, that'll take out Hubert. It's only if you get there. Bernie has a silver bow. She'll be fine. Did Linhart already go? He did. Hubert, get Dorothea. Okay, first do that, then do this.
Delightful.
He'll be fine with that.
Victory is assured.
My man! Okay.
To brag of this would invite mockery.
Nah, that's good, Constance. Yeah, go for Hubert. He's on a spot too. Okay. Right, Petra. 45-26. Yeah, she'll do it. She'll do it. Edelgard, you actually come this way.
I have no need of you.
Nice, Hubert. Okay. Oh, shoot!
Dude! First was the doc, now it's Petra. He just like just killing my women, huh?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You know, I was worried one of these days my overconfidence was gonna get her killed.
I will not be stopped.
I'm never doing that again. Never doing that again. Nice, Petra. Let's go ahead and finish this. Bernie, if you can, because everybody else, it's not a matter of levels anymore. It's just okay. Dorothea, how about a meteor? How would that work? If you went right here?
You can't stop me.
Oh my word! Oh. Okay, it's nothing special. Alright, Bernie. Hunter. You can go with the mini. Yeah. There we go. Pop off, team.
Got him.
I can't wait to challenge you.
Okay. Linhardt, give her a bit of a combat. Yep, there we go.
You were outmatched.
Okay. The rest will be with the three of us. So you guys just stand back. Edelgard, you still have your gambit? Yes, you do. Great. Oh, 18. Petra, you got him. Wait. Okay, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to... Okay, yeah, that's not good. What can I do? I already used both my strides. See, the thing isn't that he'll kill Petra, it's that Petra will kill him. Without a doubt. I've never used a turn wheel on this map. But Linhardt uses warps. So is Lysithea. Without that, and Caspar uses Gambit as well. Even if I were to get there, my swap is not enough. It would have to be Dorothea, and she can't reach either. Alright. Fine.
Caution is needed.
I don't know how I did that, but...
Stay focused.
Like I said, it's not like I wouldn't have won,
I will prevail.
but I need to see what Edelgard says. Okay. Alright. We're gonna need some help. Dorothea, can you get up here? Alright. Let's make sure Edelgard can get close enough. Alright. Have Edelgard get right here. Dorothea, you equipped... Oh, shoot. Your meteor's gone. I guess try Thoron. I don't think it'll work.
A great help.
Alright. Gambit, don't miss this time, Edelgard.
So this is how it is. I cannot let you live.
You stole the words from my mouth. You lost the moment you failed to kill the professor.
Alright. And I think I'll go ahead and take this one for myself. Here's the sword you're so interested in, Solon.
I am terrified by you. Even though an emotion like fear has no place inside me. That means you must be eliminated.
And it's over.
To think that I would lose to mere beasts. But this is not the end. Tullus will carry out our mission somehow.
It's over. Now, Professor, about your appearance.
Yeah. Petra almost died. I need to stop being so careless with her. I mean, granted, I could have just used a turn wheel, but I don't like doing that.
That hair. And those eyes. You remind me of someone.
Rhea,
What happened to you?
the goddess, gifted me her power.
The goddess?
Yes.
I see. Well, I'm happy for you. Your weapon is called the Sword of the Creator, after all. It's no wonder she looks favorably upon you.
I feel like when she said I see, all emotions that I could try to read on her face just disappeared.
Just as it was with Saint Saros, no doubt.
You think?
And just how will you use this new power, Professor?
I mean, I don't know. I just got it. Oh, of course, for the people of the world.
That is so like you to say that. Tell me, if the world, and your students included, were to divide and go to war with each other, what would you do?
That's quite a pointed question.
In that scenario, each side would represent both the world and your students.
In this case, yes.
Who would you?
Darn it.
Professor, have you fallen asleep? This must be a side effect of your recent changes.
You know, it's a real good thing that didn't happen in battle.
I can't just leave you here. I could try carrying you, but no. I had better call for Hubert.
Alright, everyone, so we're not done yet. As it turns out, the banner that made me uninstall Fire Emblem Heroes in the first place, it came back. And not only did it come back, which, by the way, on a side note, I loved the Morgan conversations. It was literally a conversation between both of the Morgans. That was, well, anyway, we're not hearing about that. You can see there's a conversation with Edelgard. And I wasn't gonna look at it, right? But I noticed the other person Edelgard was talking to. Now, disclaimer, I don't believe in any of the Fire Emblem Hero stuff being canon. There have been many things that I was like, nah, this seems like high tier fan fiction. The Fire Emblem Three Houses characters, I would not consider how they are in this game to be indicative of how they are in their actual game. Nevertheless, this is interesting, and since I was so disappointed with their conversation, well, based off all the build up for it for me, because I actually Googled it in Google, Cronia versus, and Edelgard was the first one to show up. I'm pretty sure that video probably has a lot of views too, but it was only 2 lines. Let's check this out. You see this? You see why? Let's just go through it, all right? So Cronia is recognizing Edelgard, and of course, this is her 5 years later, and you know, in form Cronia has never seen before. What an interesting turn of events, huh? And that's an interesting, you know, they really, part of me, I'm just seeing how they develop Cronia, because Cronia has, you know, little to none. So in this case, I'm not complaining if they do try to flesh out her character, and that's an interesting way of putting it. I don't know if this means anything. This is what I'm saying, you know, Fire Emblem Heroes, they might have just wrote this in there, but I can see it being the case because clearly Edelgard does not like Monica / Cronia. That's very obvious. And this is, I happen to be scrolling along, this is the only line I saw, and I'm like, wait, that's literally from the game. But of course the second part is, you know, not viable, because they didn't even give us Cronia's response. It's just, shock, you're gonna kill me? And then Edelgard says yes. Cronia doesn't mention if she's surprised about that interaction or, you know, anything. Just, or you know, if she's happy to kill Edelgard. Like, there's nothing. And so I already knew this from the Golden Deer. Like I said, I think it was in the last episode, Edelgard talks like an Agarthan. Which is interesting that Cronia didn't consider them. Well, I guess their only beef is with Sothis. And Cronia does seem different than the other Agarthans, more mindless, I have to say. Okay, well, that really didn't add too much. In fact, I probably just cut some of that. But yeah, just thought it was interesting that they had a conversation. So either way, that's just something else to think about if you guys want it. Let's get on to the question of the day. And now it is time for the question of the day. You know, I can't help but feel, now that I've seen all 3 routes, that there's a piece in the game that was missing. When I think of Solon, for example, there's a lot of characters like Solon in other Fire Emblem games, but normally they have a much bigger role. For example, he hurts the people of Remire Village, and Gerald mentions that we owe the people of Remire Village much. I think a possible thing that could have helped Solon be more impactful is if there was somebody from Remire, maybe like the village chief, who was a nice guy that we met along the same time as we met Aloise, Edelgard, Dimitri, and Claude. And then when Solon did what he did, we saw the village chief leader among the villagers. And, you know, that would have created some impact leading up to Cronia. Though I almost feel like the developers were trying to go for a revenge is not the right way kind of deal, because in every way, shape, or form, well, maybe not every way, shape, or form, but there are many aspects about Cronia that it didn't feel as satisfying as it could be. She was taken out by Solon. She wasn't the main villain of this map. Actually, I would argue Solon was. You know, he's the final boss we gotta take down. In trying to take out Cronia, we were drawn into a trap, and we were captured, and we lost Sothis. Which, on that note, I've been wondering if the developers added Cronia later, although I think the cutscenes means that they didn't. But even so, I asked in the Blue Lion route if people thought Cronia should have had more, and I saw an idea about having an Agarthan in our class. Maybe it would have been interesting if Monica had been there from the beginning. Could have been the real Monica, could have been Monica disguised as Cronia, but I think that would have added a lot more to the betrayal as well, because even Tomas, even though I played the Golden Deer first and he was in an actual scene.
Why are you telling us all of this?
It seemed like you were searching for answers about the relics. What is a librarian if not a guide in the search for knowledge?
True, and besides, I have one, and I'm pretty sure Claude's gonna have one in the future.
Tomas, what in the world are you doing here?
Claude, you could wait like one more turn, bro.
I'm not Tomas. My name is Solon, the savior of all.
Okay, Tomas is evil.
Though part of that also could have been based off the reveal, because there was no scene, he just transformed and he didn't even act like the same person anymore or mention any of the events that we had done, you know. But part of me also wonders if they didn't want to make the Agarthans as impactful, because then it might take away from Edelgard later. Because just saying, you know, 3 out of 4 of the routes, Edelgard's the enemy. The sus was clearly thrown on Rhea for most of part 1, I feel. So I don't think they needed to do anything extra. I mean, Rhea had been slowly being engraved or set up as the enemy, I feel. So for this question of the day, since this is like the last map where things kind of stayed the same, you know, the next one is when the decision happens. So I want to ask you all, would you have added another map in part 1? And if so, what would it have dealt with? And it can be even something like each individual house has their own map that helps strengthen their own route. And depending on which route, you know, it's an exclusive map. Because I can't help but feel that, I mean, yeah, there were a lot of maps in part 1. Granted, and I think part 1 is definitely longer than part 2. Nevertheless, there were some things that I felt if they had just spent a little more time developing, and the Agarthans, I feel, first among them. At least as of right now, I'm actually hoping that if we do Edelgard's route, you know, we dive into them a bit more. But I'm curious to see if you all had any ideas on a map you thought would have made the story better. Or maps. Like I said, it could be individual maps for each individual house. I mean, we do have paralogs, but still, you know, it's the main story where I'm like, just a little bit more, like, would have strengthened it. So with that being said, please post your thoughts down in the comments below, and I will see you all next time.